You ever wonder how your chat messages just appear instantly? Or how you can see your coworker's cursor moving around in a Google Doc in real time? Well, the magic behind that is a technology called WebSockets, and honestly, it's the engine that powers the modern, live web as we know it.
To really get why WebSockets are such a big deal, we got to take a quick trip back in time. The classic web was basically a constant game of ask and wait. You'd click something, your browser would send a request, and you'd wait for the server to send something back. If you wanted to see anything new, you had to ask all over again. Click, refresh, wait. It was painful.
So, in this explainer, we're going to cover the whole journey. We'll start with the slow, old web and see how we got to this real-time revolution. We'll break down exactly how WebSockets work, see how they stack up against other tech, and get into the nitty-gritty of scaling and security. And by the end, you'll know exactly when you should be using them.
Okay, let's start by stepping back, before all this real-time magic. The web's original foundation, and still a huge part of it today, is a protocol I'm sure you've heard of, HTTP.
This right here is the perfect way to think about it. Standard HTTP is kind of like sending a postcard. You write your message, you send it off, and then you just have to wait for a completely separate postcard to come back with a reply. It's a one-way street at a time. WebSockets, on the other hand, they're like a phone call. Once you're connected, the line stays open. You can both talk and listen at the very same time. And that's the huge difference between half duplex and full duplex. So yeah, the web really needed to ditch the postcard and pick up the phone. And that's exactly what WebSockets do. They provide that persistent, open channel that makes real-time communication possible.
And here's the official definition, which was standardized back in 2011. A WebSocket is a persistent, bidirectional communication channel over a single connection. The two words you really want to remember there are persistent, meaning the connection stays open, and bidirectional, data can flow in both directions at the same time. So where are WebSockets actually being used? Oh, they are everywhere. From the instant messages you get in Slack, to the live collaboration in Figma, all the way to those lightning-fast price updates on platforms like Binance. They are the invisible force behind your online games, live sports scores, and even the data streaming from your smart home devices. So how does a regular old web connection suddenly turn into this real-time powerhouse? Well, the secret is in this really clever process called the handshake.
Let's walk through this handshake. It actually starts out as a totally normal HTTP request, but it has this special instruction tucked inside: upgrade WebSocket. It's basically asking, hey, can we switch to a WebSocket? If the server is cool with that, it replies with a special code, 101 switching protocols. And just like that, the very same connection gets handed over to the WebSocket protocol. It's so clever because it all happens on standard web ports, so you don't need any special firewall rules.
You know, WebSockets weren't an overnight success. The whole journey started way back in 2008, with Google Chrome really leading the charge in 2009. But it wasn't until 2011 that WebSockets finally earned their place as an official internet standard, cementing their role in the modern web. So once they became a standard, WebSockets were ready to take on the world. But as a developer, you always have choices, so let's see how they actually compare to some of the other communication protocols out there. This table really breaks it all down. Let's start over on the right with polling. That's the old school way of doing things, just repeatedly asking the server, anything new? Anything new? It's super inefficient and slow. Now, in the middle, we have server-sent events, or SSE. These are a big improvement. They keep a connection open for the server to push updates to you. But as you can see, it's a one-way street. Only WebSockets over on the left give you that true two-way conversation over one persistent connection with basically instant latency and support for binary data.
But here's a question. Are WebSockets always the fastest? Well, not necessarily. This benchmark shows that if you're just doing a single one-off request, like fetching one piece of data, other protocols like gRPC and REST can actually be a bit quicker. WebSockets really start to shine when you need a continuous conversation, not just a quick hello.
It's all about picking the right tool for the job. And when it comes to data overhead, WebSockets are the clear winner. This research shows they transfer the fewest bytes for both fetching and inserting data. Why? Because once that connection is open, there's very little overhead for each individual message, which makes them incredibly efficient for sending lots of updates back and forth.
All right, let's move from theory to reality. Using WebSockets in a big, real-world application comes with its own set of challenges, especially when we start talking about security and scaling.
First off, security is absolutely non-negotiable. You always have to use the secure WSS/protocol for encryption.
You've got to authenticate connections right when they're made, usually with some kind of token, and this origin header is so important. If you don't validate it, a malicious website could potentially hijack your users' connections. And of course, just like with anything else, sanitize every single message. You can never, ever trust data that comes from the client.
Now, scaling WebSockets can be tricky. Unlike a normal API, which is stateless, WebSocket connections are stateful, which means they're tied to one specific server. This means you need smart solutions, like load balancers with sticky sessions to keep a user on the same server, or a central message broker like Redis to manage all the connections. You also need to actively manage things with heartbeats to check if a connection is still alive and clean up any that have gone silent.
And there are a few common traps developers fall into. Forgetting to clean up closed connections can cause some nasty memory leaks. Ignoring those heartbeats can leave your server clogged with dead connections. But a really big one is just over-engineering, using WebSockets when a simpler technology, like server-sent events, would have worked just fine.
So this brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? When should you actually reach for WebSockets?
This quote really just hits the nail on the head. When every single millisecond counts, and when that instant interactivity is at the very core of your user's experience, there is simply no substitute for WebSockets.
So here's the bottom line. WebSockets are an incredibly powerful tool, but they can be complex. You shouldn't use them just for the cool factor. You should use them when that instant two-way communication is an absolute necessity for creating a truly magical user experience.
And that kind of brings us to our final thought. WebSockets completely revolutionized the old static web, but our demand for instant collaborative experiences is only getting stronger. So, what's next? What do you think the next protocol will be that completely redefines how we interact online?